Sam, Dobre Utra, Chodesh Tov, Rosh Chodesh, the last day in the month of Tishrei, the high holidays, all of that energy, that energia, that power that we got is in this month, from this month, right? This month is a very, very opportune month. Today is the last day, and tomorrow begins the month of Cheshvan. Cheshvan is a month where we have no holidays. What's the lesson for us? Few. Number one, we have to bring Mashiach to make a holiday. Right? We have to make a holiday in the month of Cheshvan. But more than that, is that now is a time where you're able to apply yourself. You're able to learn uninterrupted. There's nothing, you can focus on Avodat Hashem and elevate without any new things coming along, etc. It's a time to grow. It's a time where it looks like nothing is happening, but it's a time where much of the growth of the person takes place. The month of Cheshvan, it's a very important month. It's a month that began the flood. The month of Cheshvan. So we have to keep that in mind. And make sure that we're not partners in Chas v'Shalom in bringing floods. We are today studying Parashat Noach. How many sons did Noach have?
3.
Fair. Says the Torah, Ele toldot Noach. Noach ish tzadik, v'mei b'dorotav. Noach was an ish tzadik. Translate.
He was a big tzaddik. He was a man of like chesed.
Ish, tzadik, tamim. 3 terminologies they give to Noach. One is that he was an ish, a man. 2 is that he was a tzaddik, righteous. And 3 is he was tamim, he was wholesome, palnat tzaddik. The commentators have all offered their own definitions of the terms tzaddik and tamim. They have even offered various interpretations for bidorotav. What does it mean bidorotav? In his generation. Does it mean if he was in Abraham's generation it would be even better? Or it means he would have been considered not so good? That's debatable in the Gemara. What does it mean he was righteous in his generation? Am I trying to give him praise or am I trying to give him chas v'shalom the opposite? But what about the word ish? What does ish mean? Ish means a man. Can I get the key?
She has it. You need to go get it.
Go get it?
I love you. Tell her it's in the cup holder. What about the word ish? It must mean more than a tzaddik who happens to be a male. Harav Baruch Mordechai Ezrachi cites the pasuk in Melachim. It says that David HaMelech, before he died, he called his son Shlomo. How old was Shlomo? He was right about his bar mitzvah age. And he tells him, V'chazakta, you should be strong, V'hayita le'ish, and you should be an ish, a man. What is he trying to tell him?
You are now considered a real man.
David HaMelech is approaching his mortal end and issues a charge to his son, Shlomo. Implicit in his words is the idea that ish, man, is a goal of itself. You should be strong and become an ish. That's a goal. What does it mean to be an ish? To be a man. Just as there is a tzaddik, so too there is an ish. The Radak explains this means someone who is a zariz. You know what it means, zariz? Person who's ready. Tell him, Bore, let's go. I'm ready. Shustri. He's ready. Not, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. Let me think about it, think about it again. Now, ish, now. Gets things done. He's ready. Willing. Umoshel ben Avshon, he's in control of his nefesh, of himself, who rules over his spirit. And ish kovesh et yitzro, he conquers his inclination. Word ish is somebody who is in control. You look at a guy, he weighs 260 pounds, he's 6'6", Yerakel, big, does it make him an ish? It doesn't make him an ish. And ish means you have self-control. It means you have control. It means in the sukkah, when you tell your kids, uvirai, and he doesn't listen to you, you don't explode, atomic explosion. Very hard. Anybody who has teenagers, they know why some animals eat their young. Again, nobody got that joke. But that's not my joke, by the way. That's a joke I heard from Rabbi Riedi like 10 years ago. It's a funny joke, no? יש животные, которые кушают свои, хас в'shalom. Да. И Rabbi говорит, человек, который имеет teenagers, дети, которые с 12 до 19 лет, он понимает, почему есть животные, которые кушают своих детей. Again, what a, I got a bad feeling when I said that. I gotta edit that out. Now, Essentially, the primary difference between an animal and a human being is the ability to assert self-control. You want to know what makes you a man? Not that you weigh 180 pounds. What makes you a man is you have self-control. There are other differences. Human being speaks, thinks logically, has common sense, has a spiritual and emotional dimension. These are all realms from which the animals are excluded. While animals do not talk, they have other methods of communicating. They could talk. Right? Likewise, they don't have clear cognitive ability like human beings, but they're not completely devoid of the thinking process. Animals do have thinking process. Animals, some of them are very smart. Some aspects of emotions play a role in animals also. So what's the only difference between a man and an animal? Is a man has self-control. A man is able to say to himself, no, this is no good for me. I will not do this. I will not go here. I will not look here. I will not eat this. That's the only difference between a man and an animal, is that we have self-control. You want to ask yourself, are you a man? It doesn't matter how much money you make. It matters how much self-control you have. When somebody's walking the street and it's not appropriate, you look away, that's self-control. To look is easy. To turn away is difficult. That's what it means to be a man. Today we live in a society where the more you give in to your desire, the better you are. You deserve it, you deserve it. Yeah, what do you mean you deserve it? There's no more holiness, no more purity, no more loyalty, no more fidelity, no more, yashrut. People are going and behaving in very questionable ways.
I agree.
Why? Because they're not ish, they're not men. The idea, however, in which a man and an animal are clearly different from one another is the mastery over their will. When a lion is sitting and his wife walks by him 2 times, so, right? He doesn't have self-control. A human being says, 1 second, right now I have to go learn Daf Yomi. Right? Right now I have to go to Gemara class. It's called to be in self-control. I want to eat the steak. But do I have self-control when I eat it? You go to the restaurant. Do you have self-control when you eat it? Do you leave a little piece? Do you leave a little piece and say to yourself, no, this I don't need? You want to drink your Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Do you say to yourself, 1 second, the 3rd cup is already too much? It's unnecessary? The difference between a man and a child is a man knows how to say no to himself. I can get the new Lambo. But do I say no to myself? Is you went, what do you mean? I work hard. I can get it, but should I get it? Or should I have self-control? I spoke to a very wise father yesterday, very wise. And he was speaking to his friend also, and he says, not happy with him. He says, the fact that you guys want all these crazy houses and everything else. He says, you're not doing any good to your kids, first of all, and you're not doing any good to yourself. He says, you think I can't get into a nicer car? Can't get into a nice Porsche? I could also. But what? You have to exert self-control. Everything is meru. That's what makes you an ish. That you don't lose your cool. You're sitting on the couch and you tell your son Ubiraisa and he ignores you. Do you lose your cool? If you lose your cool, you get angry, it shows you're not an ish. To get angry means you're a weak person. I'm talking to myself. When my kid doesn't listen and I get angry and I lose my ram, it shows weakness. Because truly strong people, they're in control. I'm not saying you never get angry, but what I am saying is that not every 45 minutes you're getting upset. This explains why Noach was called Ish. Because first when you have self-control, then you can become a tzaddik, then you can become tamim. But if you have no self-control, you have no Torah. Today they show vacation, Pesach vacation, retreat, all you can eat, glad kosher, by the beach, wow! The only thing that's kosher there is the food. That's it. The ideology of all you can eat is not kosher. It's a lack of self-control. Control means, I say to myself...
You're talking about the beach or no?
The beach also. Who says it's a good thing? Who says it's allowed? Who said?
Who said it's not allowed?
I said. The Torah says.
That's a good question.
A similar idea, listen to this. When the Torah speaks about Moshe, it says, Ki ha'ish Moshe! Ki zeh Moshe ha'ish! Asher ha'elanu me'eretz Mitzrayim, etc. Lo yadanu me'ayalo. We don't know this Ish Moshe. You want to know why Moshe became the leader? Because Moshe had self-control. You want to know how you can become a leader? When you have self-control. When you don't go just because everybody's running, you don't run with them. You say, 1 second, it's called to have self-control. Another one, Mordechai, the tzaddik, Purim. You know what we call him? Ish Yehudi haya b'Shushan habira ushmo Mordechai ben Yair ben Shimi ben Kish ish Yemini. Should I do it in the Bukharian tone? Vayhi b'ma Hashverosh hu Hashverosh hamolech. I don't even know how to do. But the point is, you want to know what makes Mordechai ish? Self-control. Mordechai, bow! I'm not bowing. You to do what you want. I'm not going to bow to you. Self-control. He's strong. Mordechai lo yichra. He will not bow. Not that he does not. He will not bow. Control. You want to know why Yosef HaTzadik became the king of the Egypt? You want to know why? Our rabbis teach that the more self-control a person has, the more control Hashem gives him. You want to have influence on a community, you need to have self-control.
It's because he had self-control?
Absolutely. Yosef, everything he said no to, in the end he got in a kosher way.
The dreams he told to Paro.
No. You know how many days Paro had that dream? Fill me in on the story. How many days?
Years.
Paro had that dream for 2 years, every single night. Can you imagine 700 times to have the same dream? When did Yosef come out? Only Rosh Hashanah. What's the lesson? Is that the fact that he's dreaming, don't think it's the dream that got you out. It's an excuse. Yosef was thrown into jail. Which jail? The jail. That was of Potiphar. And who else was in that jail? Paro's right hand and left hand man. Right? Mashkim and Sarah. He happened to interpret their dream. They happened to remember him. And beautiful story. You know what the truth is? Is that Hashem had a date that he was taking Yosef out. That exact day, just like our hostages. When did they come out, Netanel? You want to know when they came out? They came out Hoshana Rabbah. When did they go in? Shemini Atzeret. What's the difference in days? If your birthday is November 1st, when is your first year of life that you finished and you're beginning your second year?
The year after that,
November 1st is already the second year. The last day of the last year was the end of the first year. October 31st was the end of the first year, right? That was your first year of life, from November to October 31st. And the second year begins when? November 1st. And next year, same story. It goes from November 1st all the way until October 31st. And then November 1st is again, when he becomes 2, that's really the third year of his life. 2 means you already lived 2 years. 35 means you already lived 35 years. 36 means you already lived 36 years. Now you're beginning that day, the new year. They went in Shmini Atzeret. When does the year end? If it's Shmini Atzeret, it begins. It ends the day before, which is Hoshana Rabbah. Next year again, it begins Shmini Atzeret. When does it end? Hoshana Rabbah. When did they go in? Shmini Atzeret. When did they come out? Hoshana Rabbah. What does it show you? It was a precise decree for 2 years. Exactly. They missed October 7th, by the way.
It was just one more person, no?
20 people.
20 people?
They missed October 7th. They missed it, the deadline, right? They came out when Hoshana Rabbah. It's a coincidence? Not a coincidence. They had them exactly to the Hebrew date. Hashem is saying, look who's in control. Not your Donald, not the Trump. We like him. He's a good man, right? But I had a plan. Don't ever fall for the charade. So listen to this. We can pose. Listen to this. There's one problem with what I'm saying. We said Ish means a man of self-control. There are 2 people who the Torah calls them Ish also. One is Yaakov Ish Tam, Ish, and one is Esav Ish Tzayid. How can you call Esav Ish? You know what Esav did? No self-control. He ate where he wanted, he did what he wanted, he stole where he wanted, he married who he wanted, he did what he wanted, Karoshi.
But I thought there was no laws at the time.
What kind of an Ish is that? He has no self-control. Ish. Says the Rabbi, there's 2 types of people who are greshne. One is because he has no power over him. And one is a calculated sinner. You want to know who Esav was? He was an Ish, a calculated sinner. That's why of all of time, we don't like Esav. We speak lowly about it. You want to know what makes you an Ish? It's to say, yes, the whole world is going to cash advance. No offense. But I'm going to go to yeshiva. I'm going to go learn Torah today. I'm going to go shteig Mesechet Yevamot. I'm going to Mesechet Ketubot. I'm going to get involved. I'm going to get inspired. Why? Because to be an Ish means... What does it mean? Say hi.
I'll leave it, Rabbi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Nice hairstyle, Moshe.
Thanks so much.
Давай, Иш это мужчина, который держит слово, может быть, тоже, да?
Ish is a man. What does it mean? Self-control. The lesson for us in the month of Cheshvan, I tell you, Rabotai, all of us could be considered great tzaddikim. You don't have to be the big rabbi, 100,000 views. You don't have to need any of that. You could be one man, one wife, one family, and you could be Ish. Self-control, loyal, elevated, pure, holy, and in God's eyes, you Kodesh Kodeshim. The point is, do you have that willpower? That's all we need, willpower. To say to yourself, yes when necessary, and no when necessary. Ish means I'm ready. What does it mean? Willpower. Papa says, come Natana, let's go. You don't say, can we go in 20 minutes? That's a lack of willpower. That's a lack of Ish. Ish, yes, let's go. Yes, let's do it. Says David to Shlomo, become an Ish. You know what it means? Get things done. Don't let the Yetzer Hara relax you and say, don't worry. And number 2 is don't give in to your Yetzer Hara. Be strong. Say no when necessary. Be strong.
But so you fall?
Good. You know what an Ish does?
Seriously?
You know what an Ish does? Gets back up. Sheva Yipol Tzadiq, they come.
But what if you say, I'm sorry, again you do it,
Go.
again.
How many times did I fall?
That's why there's teshuva.
But like, you know you're doing wrong while you're doing the sin.
No, it depends on what sin, right? Obviously, you shouldn't do sins, right? But I'm talking about where you have a mishap. Zamikanya. Your kids can't catch you on a cranky day. You lose yourself a little bit. Also, you have to fix that. That's midot. Character. Push yourself to get out of bed in the morning. You want to be a successful human being? It's called self-control, discipline. If you have discipline, you an Ish, Hashem is with you. Yehi Ratzon, that in the month of Cheshvan, it's the month of the flood, by the way. Flood, it's a water month. Water, the Ari writes, it's a month that wants everything. Steak, sushi, everything. Wow, shakshuka. Delicious. Hadaku Baruch, Bureka. Ish, I'm in control. Kedusha. Bezrat Hashem should bring this to manifestation. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. Amen.